My name is Susana Dias. I'm from Portugal. I'm 22 years old and I've been awarded with an Interrail pass by the Schwarzkopf Foundation. This pass is based on a study that I have to do on utopias in peace and justice in Europe. When planning this trip, my main focus was on trying to understand the implications of the current conflict between Ukraine and Russia for two important pillars of European civilization: peace and justice. Starting my trip, I flew from Lisbon to Zurich, and the first impression of this topic was partially biased, one could say, in the sense that it was significantly affected by Switzerland's state of neutrality. When talking to locals, I realized how several decades of distance from major international conflicts had ended up shaping Swiss opinions. This neutrality, in addition to the fact that there is no significant Ukrainian community in the country, may have distanced the Swiss from this conflict and ultimately did not affect their general perception of peace and justice from a European perspective. Everything changed once I stepped foot in the Balkans, namely in Slovenia and Croatia. Their Yugoslavian-related background increased their level of empathy regarding what's currently occurring in Ukraine, what Ukrainian people have to go through, not only people fighting in the war, but also refugees that had to abandon their hometowns, their family, etc. It was precisely in Split where I met my interviewee, 24-year-old Pablo from Spain, who joined me not only in sightseeing, but also sharing his thought on the topic.
Well, I believe if you go back, if you were able to go back and ask to any European what was their perception of peace and justice, I don't know, in 2021 or 2022, for instance, probably he or she would answer that Europe was the perfect example that a society can be built around these two main pillars. However, I believe that currently with Russia's invasion of Ukraine, this perception of eternal peace and unbreakable sense of justice in Europe has been in a certain way compromised. People's perception has been affected, and currently I believe that people no longer see or perceive peace as eternal, as unbreakable in Europe, and they don't feel that their security is 100% ensured anymore, because there's obviously external threats that can impact and negatively affect those same pillars. So I believe that this conflict really heavily changed our perception as Europeans of both peace and justice.
I went then to Krakow, Berlin and Hamburg, and there I truly experienced the impact of the current conflict. And that has entirely to do with the fact that both of these countries, Poland and Germany, are the ones that receive the highest amount of refugees from Ukraine. As a result, the Ukrainian culture can be seen and even felt across of the streets of these three cities for instance in Ukrainian street vendors. This ultimately enhances the historical background of these cities, as they all have already experienced the darkest side of humanity before. It was clear to me that here we were dealing with a whole different Europe, a less utopian Europe, a Europe that, apparently, no longer believes in this concept of eternal peace and unbreakable justice. Has this side of Europe always been there, or is it purely a consequence of the war?